Hello guys, and welcome back to Joe's Ventures. And today we're going to be doing another episode of kind of our Planet Zoo updates, and this is covering update 1.10, which is coming on the 21st of June, alongside the Conservation Pack, which is a very interesting pack. And I think this pack, from what I've read here, and the free update that comes with it, is very interesting. It really talks a lot about education, and it really hits like all the cool conservation things I love to talk about on this channel, and in my life in general. So I think it's really awesome that a lot of people get to learn about this potentially firsthand through Planet Zoo, and I think that's really awesome. So we're going to get into it today and just read off what we got here for update 1.10. So, hey yo, zookeepers, it's nearly summer, the sun is shining, and what better way to celebrate than sharing than with some Planet Zoo news. Join us below as we take a look at what you'd expect in the free update 1.10 for Planet Zoo, available on the 21st of June. If you missed it yesterday, be sure to also check the messages for the announcement of the Planet Zoo Conservation Pack, which will be coming with you on the same day, coming to you on the same day. So wonderful. So one of the first things we've got here is education stations, which are really awesome. So educators had an upgrade in 1.9 where they when we added the ability to explore your zoos and educate on the go with the roaming educator functions. But however, there are more ways to learn than from our educators, right? Now your zoo guests can have a more immersive experience than ever with the new education stations. So let's have a look at these guys here. So these are new path facilities that, when placed, provide an item for children guests to interact, and then gaining a minor education and happiness boost. They will have a set of education topic, and will not be able to be customized, but they come in 3 different types. So you have the height measuring station, so you compare your height against giraffe and gorilla in your zoos. Are you taller? Most likely not, but I think this is a really fun way to show that education. A lot of zoos have that, because look how big you are next to this animal and things like that, so it's really interesting. And I really like the art style of this one as well, as you can see with the giraffe. I think it really does look nice. So we also have the soundboard station as well. So press a button and hear the sound from one of the animals in your zoo. Did you know they make that sound? So that's also very interesting. So I believe that's a little bit more customizable. See if you have a camel or an elephant or a pangolin, or what sounds they make. And we also have the paw print station. So this compares your hands to the paws of the animals. How big is yours in comparison? So that's very interesting. That adds another cool little education thing, and I think it's really interesting that a lot of zoos have this. So it's very cool that we're getting it in such a really nice art style on Planet Zoo. So it's really cool. And child guests interacting with your education stations will also boost your zoo's conservation rating, but be careful, they can be vandalized, which require repair from a mechanic or direct replacement from yourselves. So obviously very nice education, but you got to be careful that someone doesn't knock it down. Who does that in zoos? It's very sad. Vandalism is very not epic, but anyway, I really do love that style of that name one as well. It really fits that conservation theme with this update. But now we've also got group photos. So child guests aren't the only one gaining a new behavior. Currently, guest groups take photos of animals, but now your guests will join each other for even more fun by taking group photos. So when this occurs, one member of the group will take a role as the photographer, and with 1 to 5 others grouping together as the subjects. So from here, they will line up and happily pose to the camera. It's a snapshot to remember the amazing time they had in your zoo. So that's actually really awesome. Adds a little bit of immersion. So kind of a small thing, but I think it adds a little bit of immersion. To prompt a group photo to be taken, guests must be viewing a habitat and have an overall happiness of above 50%. So that's a little incentive if you want to see these animations. It's kind of like a visual cue to see that your zoo's doing well. So I think that's really cool. I think that's awesome. So I like these. I like the cues that are less reliant on UI. So if you have visual cues of how things work, I think it's really awesome. But yeah, cool little thing that they've added, and the guests don't really excite me too much, but it's nice to have those little visual indicators. But what really excites me is this new animal sniffing behavior. So your guests have gained some new behaviors, but what about your animals? So watch your animals engage with their surroundings even more with the new sniffing behavior. So while some animals already have a sniff animation, this new feature adds sniffing as an acting behavior for the majority of animals in your zoos, but not all. And you can see the list below of the animals that do not have the sniffing behavior. So a bunch of animals, say like aardvarks, Indian rhinos, animals that probably don't have really obvious kind of where they're sniffing and things like that, which makes sense. I know people are like, aardvark doesn't sniff, but it already sniffs like as an animation, but it doesn't really use it because it looks like they're going around sniffing flowers and things, so I don't think aardvarks really go do that, but maybe they'll let it in the future. Same with the flamingos and the... they don't really sniff in that way, that it seems. So, when placing items in your habitat, the game will generate a set of sniff points that your animals can interact with. After all, they want to find the most interesting places to smell, and these sniff points will exist per enclosure, and when a habitat is destroyed, they will be removed as well, and new ones will be regenerated if you rebuild or use the undo button. So make sure you're okay with adjustments before doing any removals. So these are the animals, as I mentioned here, do not have that sniffing behavior, so it looks like if they come around and find a patch of flowers they want to come have a sniff, a lot of animals will do that. So the list here, pangolin, caiman, all of that. So these are all the animals that don't really have that sniff animation, but it doesn't really bother me too much because it doesn't. They already a lot of them do already have a sniffing animation, kind of as like their animation, as like because each species has kind of their own animation. Aardvarks have it, I believe, and so do pangolins. So I imagine it doesn't really get too much from this behavior. Plus, you're sniffing flowers, but I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, why would you give aardvark sniffing?" But it just is what it is. And next we've got animal chorus behaviors. That's very interesting. So that's not all. Now some of your animals can try their hands, or rather their voice, at musical stardom with the new animal chorus behavior. So some animals, including the new siamangs coming in the conservation pack, are known to perform a group calling as a social activity. So this new behavior comes to Planet Zoo as the Arctic and timber wolves, along with the new siamang, and will be able to perform a chorus call with each other, even while wading or climbing. So there will be a range of calls available with the chorus leader, the animal who starts the chorus, will randomly select one from and will continue until all animals in the chorus have joined in, and after that they will either randomly select a new call to continue or will end the behavior. So that's very, very interesting. So it's known for the siamangs and the Arctic and timber wolves. It'll be very interesting what other animals is added to the feature in the future. Dolls, any other animal calls I think would be quite interesting. Yeah, I think that's a really cool behavior and really adds a little bit to, especially the siamangs, making them really distinct from any of the animals in the game, really. And now we have new climbing enrichment. So what better way for your animals to show off their excitement this summer with a new climbing frame to enjoy in the sun? So we have this new climbing frame enrichment can be used by your animals that can make use of thin climbing pieces. However, that's not all. For our new siamangs, they become a playground for high-flying fun thanks to the new brachiation behavior. So brachiation, as I mentioned in the video on the conservation pack, is that they use their arms to kind of swing from side to side, to one arm to the next, to swing around the trees. It's mainly a thing for apes like orangutans and gibbons and siamangs, animals like that. And it's really cool that they're getting this as well. And brachiation means that you'll see the gibbon swinging around the frames in ways you've never seen before. So that's something the community has really wanted for a while, especially for the orangutan, but I think it's really awesome that we're getting it here. So a lot of people are kind of confused whether the enrichment climbing frame is either like a big, like imagine in Zoo Tycoon, they have the jungle gym and it kind of just is a stationary thing, or is it modifiable? And it seems from what I've seen on like the promo art and or the trailer and stuff, I'm pretty sure it's a new kind of enrichment, so you can build and play with it and kind of make your own climbing frames, which I think is very interesting. That's something I've been asking for because it's all just wooden climbing frames, and I think it's really cool that we're getting frames of metal and stuff, because a lot of zoos have been using metal because it's easy to clean, more stable, things like that. So yeah, it's really awesome that we're finally getting some of that. And one thing as well is that we're getting small habitat gates, so you'll now have even more control over the look of your habitats with our new small habitat gates. These gates provide a short alternative gate for habitat entrances, allowing a sleeker look for low-walled enclosures. So a small variation of all current habitat gate styles. will be included. So if you guys want to make short fences, this makes it look less weird than that tall ass door. So it'd be really awesome to give a little variation there. I'd really like to have one that's like a 2, because most zoos, obviously, they don't have one door leading into a closure, just in case an animal gets out. It'd be cool to have one that's kind of a more realistic style that has 2 doors, or you just add as a habitat thing. I think that'd be really cool. But the small habitat gates are also cool. And then we also have the additional store shop counters and signs. So shop counters and small signs we added into 1.8, providing a counter-only version to some of your favorite shops so that you can really go wild with store customization. However, as of update 1.10, we'll be adding these variations to all the missing shops that include Cosmic Cow Ice Cream, Gulpy Soda, Pinshot Juice and Water, all these wonderful things, and the Information Center as well, just a memento, all of those wonderful things. So that kind of adds these counters so you can really customize a little bit more, and does the same thing, just adding the ones that were missing. But as always, update 1.10 will also come with various fixes alongside all this new content, which will be included in the update notes upon release at the 21st of June. So all these new features should come together to really make your zoo a lively and thriving place to be. What are you most excited for? So I'm really excited for, to be honest, I'm really a big fan of the climbing enrichment, because I think it's high time that we got some variation within that, because we just had all the wood, and it was basically just wood, and a lot of zoos don't really use wood anymore. They use ropes and metal and things like that, and I think there's a lot more variation there that I think is really, really cool. So, yeah, obviously you can join the social medias, and if you guys had a look at the conservation pack, I'm really excited for this one. So, yeah, I think this would be a very great place to end the video, so I really, really, really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys like and subscribe. Always remember to get the little bell icon to get notified about anything. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys like and subscribe, and bye-bye.